at once for a moment. I was a Chinese waiter. My new victim, the stalking charge. I'm okay not contacting her. I don't want anything to do with her. I worked at Little Caesars. She just doesn't want to talk to me. I'm not going to talk to her. Then I did security. But my brother and sister, because of my grandpa is technically a victim. First came back to prison, I was kind of excited. You guys put I can't talk to anybody related to my victim. So that includes my brother and sister.
Well, we are about to watch the Utah parole rescission hearing for, listen to this. This is not an alias. Color OG Arts and Crafts Bunderson. I guess, maybe a good match for business. Anyways, it's a short hearing, but it is no laughing matter what he did. I'm gonna unpack it with all the details at the end.
Parole violation original hearing for Color OG Arts and Crafts Bunderson. That is you, correct?
Correct.
Did you receive at least 7 days prior notice of today's hearing and a disclosure packet that you've been able to review?
Yes.
I'll be taking testimony from you. Do you swear or affirm the statements that you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. My name is Joel Robison, and as you mentioned, we've met before. We've done some prior hearings together. I'll be conducting today's hearing. The purpose of today's hearing is you returned on parole violations, and you had some pending cases. And so the board set this out, waiting for those pending cases to be resolved, which they have at this point. It was
I refused the first board hearing also.
right. That was the parole violation hearing.
Yeah.
Your attorney or counsel that was representing you entered denials to the allegations and everything was continued. And you've since been adjudicated on a new case. It's case 231-907-324, stalking, Class A misdemeanor. Is that your understanding?
I got that case, and I finished it. It expired last month.
Right. Now, those 3 parole allegations, we need to go over those today. The first one is the same as the new offense. The first allegations by having committed or having been convicted of a new criminal offense, stalking, April 7th of 2023. Do you admit, deny, or plead no contest to that?
Or the prison record?
Right. For the parole violations.
Or the stalking.
Right. Allegation 1 is in relation to that stalking. So in regards to the parole allegations, this is what occurs generally at the parole violation hearing. Go over the allegations, have you enter pleas.
Well, yeah,
So that's what I'm doing right now.
I got found guilty on the outside court.
Okay.
So yeah, guilty.
Okay. And then allegation 2 is by having committed or having been convicted of a new criminal offense, interference with an arresting officer. Do you admit, deny?
Not guilty. I was found, case dismissed. I was found innocent.
Okay. And then the final allegation by having committed or having been convicted of a new criminal offense, reporting an emergency falsely, September 27th of 2023.
Not guilty. I was found, the case dismissed.
Okay. And I'll recommend that allegations 2 and 3 be dismissed.
Okay.
Now, as you mentioned, with that new conviction, that case expired on September 27th. Your final expiration date on all of the cases is January 8th of 2025. So it's approaching here shortly.
Yeah.
Did you want the opportunity of release leading up to that expiration date, be on parole for a month or 2?
I did. Everyone's telling me I'm crazy to take parole, but I don't have a problem on parole. I don't do drugs. I don't I just know how to, the charges, like we saw, the charges I was found innocent of. Those 2 violated me on parole originally, but I was found innocent of them.
So you'd prefer parole for a couple months leading up to the expiration?
I want to get out as soon as possible. I don't have a problem taking parole.
Okay.
I believe my lawyer was going to ask for immediate release with parole, and that's what I want to.
All right.
And I do have money. One thing is, though, I won't have time to do any classes on parole. Like, classes are generally 4 to 6 months, or
it would be a period of monitoring and,
Yeah.
and transitioning back into the community leading up to that expiration date is what it would be.
Yeah, and one thing is, though, So my new victim, the stalking charge, I'm okay not contacting her. I don't want anything to do with her. She just doesn't want to talk to me. I'm not going to talk to her. But my brother and sister, because of my grandpa is technically a victim, you guys put I can't talk to anybody related to my victim. So that includes my brother and sister. Even though they didn't do anything, they have nothing involved with me, even though we're on good terms. I've been talking to him in prison, but he manages my money, and my sister helps me with everything else, brings me stuff. She supports me in general. So I need to be able to talk to those two.
Okay, I'll inform the board of that. Now, there's three options. One, you get released as soon as possible back on parole, period of transition, monitoring up until your final case expires. The other option is the board could grant a termination of sentence prior to that expiration date. Third option being you serve out the remainder of your sentence to that January 8th, 2025 date.
Yeah, and I don't have I'm within my guidelines for parole, and I've behaved since when I first came back to prison. I was kind of excited, and I think he said I had 5 write-ups and some negative C notes. But since November of last year, I've been behaving all year this year, and I've been taking my meds. I see a doctor outside of prison for meds. So I mean, I know how to take care of myself. I worked 3 jobs on parole at once. For a moment. I was a Chinese waiter. Worked at a Chinese restaurant. I worked at Little Caesars. Then I did security, and then I ended with just doing security. So I mean, I'm able to take care of myself. Yeah.
All right. Well, it's going to be one of those three options. I don't know what direction the board will go, but I'll give them all the information that you mentioned today for their consideration. They'll be able to deliberate over the next couple weeks, make their final order, mail it out to you in a couple weeks. So,
Okay.
all right. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'll try to unpack this as best I can, and I'll go over the crime that he's initially in for. But first, let me give you the result, which is that Utah actually said, no. You're just going to serve your full sentence. There's no parole. There's no games. It's like, and anyways, I don't know. People are like, well, I go on parole. It's like a month. I don't know. But anyways, his full term date is January of 2025. So, at the time of this hearing, which was October, it's just a few more months. But he will spend, I guess, Christmas and New Year's in prison, which, hey, that's never fun, right? But he's got so many charges. It's like, I mean, his name, Color OG Arts and Craft Bunderson. It was funny listening to the parole interviewer have to say that. What is going on? We live in a weird world. So, this is what he's initially locked up for in 2015, accused of beating his 95-year-old adoptive father. He called him, I think, his grandfather in this. And his defense attorney wants an evaluation for a man accused of beating his 95-year-old adoptive father. How sick is that? For those of you who know, Grandpa Do is 95, and it's just, you can't, like, there's what, some people belong in prison, and then you see the other charges with the stalking, and it's like, just stop bothering people, stop hurting people. The Standard Examiner reports that the public defender Bernie requested a review earlier this month to determine whether his 21-year-old client, remember this happened in 2015, understood the criminal proceedings. Deputy Box Elder of County Attorney Brian Duncan, a prosecutor in this case, did not object to the evaluation. He says the defendant's name change from Christian to Color OG Arts and Crafts Bunderson in April raises questions about, but doesn't alone justify an evaluation. Prosecutor says that Bunderson used his hands and feet to beat his adoptive father, who was found with broken legs, bumps and bruises, and gashes to his face, arms, legs, and torsos, because what else would he do to the man who adopts you? And let me see. It's so weird looking at his prison records and everything, and it's actually they use that alias, that name, not alias. So let me go over what Sir Richard found here. What is it additional? But basically, he has I guess he has so many different offenses. He has the stalking, violation of protective order, the stalking. He has. Well, let's just go through it. Let's see if we can go through this record. Violation of a protective order in 82619. Schedule. What else? That's also a violation of protective order. I don't know. There's just a lot here. I don't know if you guys can see my visitor. Oh, you do. Oh. So I don't know. Actually, I can't find anything. Like, there's just a lot here with the dates in terms of. I don't know. Anyways, I digress. But yeah, so anyways, we'll get out. And if we see him again, we will play it for you. That's what we do on this channel. We follow all of the inmates. Sir Richard has spreadsheets that allows us to keep track of everybody. So if he reoffends, we'll have him back. It was, of course, a short hearing. You know, I kind of wish it was a little bit longer. It would have been interesting. But there you have it. And when you think you've seen it all, you realize that you see, you know, right? Am I the coolest dad I do there ever was?
Yeah.
You know that there's that I have a subscriber that his name says #1 dad, but I say it's not possible for you to be #1 dad if I'm the #1 dad to do, right? Because I am the #1 dad to do. Anything you want to say to everybody? No?
Nothing.
You want to say that I'm the #1 dad to do? #1 this one?
I want this one.
And this is why we do it. Okay? This is why. And with that, I'll let you go.
At once, for a moment, I was a Chinese waiter. My new victim, the stalking charge. I'm okay not contacting her. I don't want anything to do with her. I worked at Little Caesars. She just doesn't want to talk to me. I'm not going to talk to her. Then I did security. But my brother and sister, because of my grandpa is technically a victim. First came back to prison, I was kind of excited. You guys put, I can't talk to anybody related to my victim. So that includes my brother and sister.